to the home of the Black Titanic after Obama ordered the assassination of the leader, Gaddafi. Many Africans were forced into slavery. So to escape, they took to the Mediterranean Sea where many died. This bears similarity to the blacks who was on board the Titanic, but there was no lifeline, so many perished and was buried under the sea. Again, welcome to the home of Black Titanic. Today, March the 17th, everyone is celebrating. But blacks, we should know our history. When you say Happy St. Patrick's Day, you're actually participating in celebrating the genocide of your ancestors. Let's get into it, you guys. We need to start celebrating all these holidays that the Europeans have, because just like Thanksgiving, just like Columbus Day, they all are celebrating the genocide of our people. Now, I don't know who this young lady is. I apologize, but let's go. I will be narrating this. It says, Irish leprechauns were originally black. The truth of St. Patrick's Day. Did St. Patrick really drive snakes out of Ireland? Is this stuff a legend? The reptile never exists on the Emerald Island. Now, St. Patrick's supposed to be some kind of bishop, some type of church leader, but he actually was a murderer. In fact, he was worse than Hitler. When he talks about driving the snakes out of Ireland, he's talking about the native, the Twa people. These people were the oldest people and on earth. That's what the DNA found. They even predate the Bible. They were native of Ireland. And when St. Patrick got in there and the rest of the Caucasoid found this rich island people, they wanted to take the land. So what they did, they destroyed them. They completely wiped them out. Some of them, and they mutilated a lot of them. They will cut their arms off, foot off, you named it, they did it. And also they took them and enslaved some of the people from St. Patrick's Day, from Ireland or the African. So what we're saying is, when we talk about driving the snakes out of Ireland, you will see that they have this picture. This is St. Patrick. You will see at the bottom there represent black snakes. Those black snakes represent black people, your ancestors. That's what they represent. They were not really snakes. Snakes were not growing was not a part of Ireland. Ireland, they said it was too cold for snakes. So these snakes, right, they had to come up with something to justify their evenness. So that's what, instead of saying that they murdered all these people and ran them off their land, they will say that they chased these people, these snakes out of their land. And plus, according to tradition, St. Patrick chased Ireland's snakes into the sea. And actually what they did was murder these people. Now the leprechaun gonna come in because they were what we call today little people. Most of 4 feet and under would be their stature. So now when you talk about the leprechauns and all these movies about these leprechauns, they are making fun of your ancestors because they were called the Twa people. So by James Owen for National Geographic. St. Patrick's Day, which is celebrated worldwide on March the 17th, honored St. Patrick. He was a Christian missionary who supposedly rid Ireland of snakes during the 15th century AD. Now, those snakes he referred to are your ancestor. He was worse than Hitler, you guys. Y'all know these Jews would never celebrate Hitler, but we run around celebrating St. Patrick, which was a real man that murdered our ancestors. According to the legend, the patron saint of Ireland chased the slithering reptiles into the sea. After they began attacking him during a 40-day fast he undertook on top of a hill. Now, like I said, they have to justify killing of all these people, just genocide, thousands and thousands of people. So what he say? He said he had to vilify them. So they were attacking him, he said, while he was up there praying and fasting for 40 days. Y'all know that sounds like the Bible, don't? Up there on that hill for 40 days and 40 nights. That's what that sounds like. But anyway, we see that today in the media. Anytime they're going to talk about a black person and they kill one of us, they got to vilify us in the media. This is the tactic they've been doing ever since the beginning of time when it comes to our people. Now, the Twa people, now they were considered magical because our people always was in tune to nature. We knew our ancestors, pharmaceutical was the plants outside. That's what we was. Our nature was our pharmaceuticals. But anyway, we're just gonna move it on along. Let's see if I can move this on along a little bit up. I want to move it up. Okay, let's go right here, you guys. Okay, now the Irish leprechaun were originally black. Can you imagine my surprise many years when I first learned about the Scottish historian Mr. David Ritchie and his finding that the original leprechauns were ethnically the Twa people of Africa? They predated the Bible. That's how old these people's DNA is. And my memory serves me, he was pointing out that some of the earliest inhabitants of Ireland were black, weak people standing no more than 4 feet 11 inches. They had great knowledge of many things, including medicinal technology. And today they call it voodoo, y'all. That's what all voodoo is our ancestors' knowledge of the herbs and the earth. So they call it voodoo. The knowledge of herbs and other wisdom was considered magic by the local people. Later, this magic came to be symbolized by the magic dust of the leprechaun. I always found these things to be interesting. And what's interesting enough is that most of you are going to be like, Happy St. Patrick Day. Most of you are going to celebrate St. Patrick. You're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. You're going to celebrate Columbus Day. All of this represents the mass killing of our people. Because we don't read. We just join in the celebration with them of the murder of our people, the wiping out, and the taking of our land and our resources. So, you guys.
But of course, that was a cover up, just like everything else they taught us. But basically, on this day, a bunch of people that look like me were massacred by a man named St. Patrick. This is a photo of the Twa tribe, okay? These were the first people in Ireland. They look like me. So the people of the Twa tribe were very short, okay? They were like 5 feet in height, which is very short for an average adult, okay? So boom, they journeyed to Northern Ireland very early in its conception, prior to the Roman Catholic Church, right? So they had a cultural, philosophical, and technological impact on the people that were there, and those people were called the Druids. The impact was so heavy that the Druids started trying to wear the same headdress as the Twa tribe, which was, I'm going to show you a picture, hold on, this. The same headdress that the kings and queens of ancient Kemet Egypt used to wear, baby, okay? So y'all know the Europeans, the Euros, always trying to come hate on us, right? So they had to nip this in the bud, okay? The Roman Catholic Church saw the influence was heavy and wanted to come in and either convert them, and if they couldn't convert them, get rid of them. So Saint
Actually, I just want to say that the Jew was not there first. Maybe they copy off of those people when they got there, but those the Twa people, they were there over 10,000 years before any pale face landed on their island.
Edward came in and put Roman Catholic churches all over Northern Ireland. And in the process of putting those churches up, he was either trying to convert the Twa Druid or get rid of them. Which one did y'all think he did? St. Patty massacred countless numbers of Twa and Druid people. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I searched high and low for a picture of St. Patty, and this is one of the ones that I found that was interesting because look at his fingers. Y'all see his fingers? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all see his fingers? If y'all know what I'm talking about, hold on. Looks familiar. I'm just saying. Okay, so like I said before, the published reason for St. Patrick's Day and the celebration of it is because
this is
he removed the snakes from the motherland. But let's really get into what that really means. Okay, let's put it all together. The Twa people wore a headdress called the uraeus that the kings and queens of ancient Kemet used to wear. It had a snake on it. Can snakes even survive in Ireland, Cedra? There are no snakes in Ireland for the simple reason they couldn't get there because the climate wasn't favorable for them to get there. The story isn't really adding up for me. Oh, and leprechauns, you say? Yes, referring to the 5-foot tall Twa tribe. Because they were small. They were very short. So, happy St. Patrick's Day! The loser never writes history.
The original hunter-gatherers to come to Britain and Ireland were black. So say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Paul Cheddarman, a hunter-gatherer and one of the first people to populate the islands of Britain and Ireland, turns out to have dark skin, black hair and blue eyes. Now this shouldn't come as a surprise to most Irish people. If you look around Ireland today, it's evident that the Irish are a mix of different peoples. And the latest genetic evidence is just confirming this. The first people to arrive in Britain and Ireland were hunter-gatherers like Cheddarman, who came from the continent. They lived by gathering nuts and berries and by hunting animals. Cheddarman was lactose intolerant because farming hadn't arrived in Britain or Ireland and wouldn't arrive for another few thousand years. And so he couldn't digest milk.
Listed as black or mulatto. For example, the following reference shows not some, but all Dakostas who came from Ireland were listed as people of color. They are referred to as mulattoes. The old definition, not the new definition, but the old definition of the word mulatto simply referred to someone with mixed European and African ancestry. As the following reference reads, mulatto, 1590s, one who is the offspring of a European and a black African. This could be a mix of a white European and a black African, or a black European and a black African. And for clarity, we can
Okay, so this is about this police report. Marceau is admitting that he do not regret calling the police on Martel. Martel says somebody threw him under the bus. When nobody supposed to know that he had went him about this altercation allegedly between him and Coleslaw. It a setup. You know, Melvin told Martel over and over and over, these are not your friends. Could it be that the Scots was the one getting revenge back on him? So they called the police on Martel. Let's listen to this, you guys.
It's a birthday party.
Yeah.
This is Martel message to Aaron. Ain't letting a Paris aboard the Titanic because there was no lifeline for our ancestors. Again, hit that like button, share and subscribe, and don't forget our ancestors who died on the Titanic. Black Titanic.
Was that ever a part of it? And no, she was a peasant. She was a peasant. She was a peasant. She was a peasant. Wow, you really said that? What does peasantry mean, see?
Low class.
Y'all remember he just called her a hood. He meant every word of it and grinned in this girl's face. She was talking to him and he told her she was talking hood, man. He's still calling her the same thing, low class.
Yeah. My mind was gone.
I'm sure your wife is not a peasant.
Of course, right?
Okay, so why go to a peasant to get what your wife didn't have the capacity to give you?
I don't know. I don't know why I was cheating with someone who's definitely not worth it. It's making me feel like I don't deserve her or my family for even, for risking it like that.
I hope you can really see yourself.
Yeah, but everyone says I'm the cream of the crop. That's why Martel loves me and we have great conversation.
Child, I ain't even got the capacity to try to. Child, honey.
I feel you, girl. No.
I was bored, whatever. Whatever. Only thing I really want to. No, I don't know. It's her message. It's over. Your husband eats my pussy like a can. She's lost. She's lost. What about you? Come back and laugh. You laugh. You laugh. You don't stop talking more stuff like that. You laugh. You figure it out. You trying to make it seem like you're not the hoe that everybody think you are. Is that what this is, girl? When I say y'all, I was
His mistress. Martel referred to her as low class and a peasant. I'm married. I got a beautiful wife. I know I've done wrong, but what else am I supposed to call somebody that I was seeing on the side? Martel asked. We did certain things together, and she knew I was married now. I mean, I know I stepped out, but she knew I was married too. She owned up to being a side chick. So any chicks out there, if your dude call you any name, run with it. And this is by Showbiz Chics. That's what this is by. And that was Martel.
obsessed with me. Like obsessed. But y'all don't know that because that's not the story that steals. Obsessed. Obsessed, baby girl. Been that. Girl, obsessed with me. Like obsessed. But y'all don't know that because that's not the story that steals. Obsessed.